welcome to our grocery discovery. I'm Annette Reeder from the biblicalnutritionist.com, and today I'm going to share with you 17 of the best, healthiest foods that I just found at Aldi today. So can't wait to share these with you, and I've got a few foods that you may think are healthy, but they're not. So we're going to learn about that today on our grocery discovery. Welcome. Now we're going to go over these 17 foods. And remember, I've got some things I want to teach you that you may not be aware of. So I'm not going to go in any particular order, but here we have some organic ground beef. It is from other countries, and it's fresh, so I'm not sure exactly how they keep it that fresh for that long, but I believe the new packaging that they have on the meats is what helps keep them fresh longer. So anyway, so we do have a reasonably priced ground beef. That's definitely one item. Then we can move on to some cheeses. They have some Parmesan and some feta cheese that is organic, so that's going to be a definite choice on my selection. And like I said, I'm not going in any particular order. Then we have yogurt. So when you're buying yogurt, I want you to buy the full fat. I want you to buy unflavored. So if you were in my coaching classes, I would be teaching you the same thing. I want you to make sure that as much of the probiotics are still alive for you to get the health benefit. So this is a full fat, unflavored yogurt. So it's organic, so then I have everything covered there. I also picked up some organic peanut butter. This would be great for making sandwiches, and with peanuts, it's very important that you do get organic just because of all of the molds and the mildews, and just because of a lot of sprays that are used in processing the peanuts. So definitely organic for your peanut butter. Now this is a topic that I'm going to say, yes, you can buy it, but I really prefer you make your own. Because when you make your own, I know you're getting exactly 100% of the nutritional value of the broth into this mix. When you're buying it in a box, you don't always get or know exactly what you're getting. So I don't want you to have bone flavored broth. I want you to have 100% bone broth. So I really prefer you make your own. You can buy bones from any of your organic growers, farmers, things like that. Okay, but this, if you need broth and you're not going to make your own just yet, then this would be a good option. Now this I buy, it's an organic juice. This one has pomegranates, grapes, and figs. That's 3 foods from the Promised Land diet. And if you're not familiar with that, go back and watch some of my other videos on the Promised Land diet and about the pomegranates, the grapes, and the figs. Because this is a juice that we don't drink juice very often just because of the sugar content. But when you just want to have your own Lord's Supper, so hopefully you've watched my video about the Lord's Supper. If you just want to have your own Lord's Supper, just a small glass of this, and you can have some amazing quiet time with the Lord. Okay, then we have flaxseed. Now this is not organic flaxseed, this is just non-GMO flaxseed. Now flaxseed is not a genetically modified crop, so the non-GMO seal up there is really just more for your happiness, your satisfied experience. You do not necessarily have to buy a non-GMO flaxseed, but you also don't have to buy an organic flaxseed, but you do need to buy from a trusted source. So this is an okay purchase there at Aldi. Now this is a purchase. This is a grab your attention purchase, kale chips, because I've got a video on all the health benefits of kale. So kale is an amazing food. I even dehydrate my own kale. But what you need to recognize, yes, it says non-GMO verified. Well, kale is not a genetically modified food anyway, but you don't see on here that it's organic. It's got the Simply Nature, grab your attention. You've got the non-GMO, grab your attention, but we don't see organic. This is a food that I would prefer you buy only organic because of the heavy pesticides on the kale. Non-GMO means there's a certain quality of processing, but it's not certified organic, and kale needs to be organic. So then we have some organic string cheese. So yeah, if you need a high protein snack to keep your kids happy and satisfied till mealtime, this would be a good choice. Well, it's July now, so fresh salmon is available. June and July is the time when the salmon are swimming upstream, and so that's when they're being caught. So yes, you are going to catch some fresh, wild-caught salmon at this time of the year, so go ahead and enjoy the real fish. I mean, the farm raised is still a real fish, but I want you to have the wild-caught as much as possible in your diet. And we have one other on this table here. I grabbed some of this just because I thought it was interesting. 7 grains. Sometimes you have children or people in the family that are just not having good bowel movements. Forgive me for talking about that. But so this is 7 grains. It is organic. That is important when we have grain dishes or grain foods that we're buying at the grocery store. So this would be just a good satisfier. It's a quick make. You can throw it in some tabbouleh. This week our coaching class, their assignment was to make tabbouleh. And so this would be a great addition to the tabbouleh instead of the bulgur wheat. So that's a good option there at Aldi. Moving over here to this table, we have the refined coconut oil, refined, unrefined. So the difference is just that it has a higher heating element. So you can cook at a higher temperature with the refined. You still, according to the coconut studies, you still should have all the nutritional value, whether it's refined or unrefined. Obviously, I'm going to prefer the unrefined, but you're going to find the organic refined there at Aldi. So that is a good purchase. Now we do a lot of pasta dishes, and so they always have the organic pasta sauce. So I usually grab 2, 3, 4 of them, have them on hand, and then I can make a dish whenever I need to. Then this is important too, your spices. Organic spices is actually a very important choice. Let me get the words out here. And so this is cumin. We go through a lot of cumin here because I love black bean dip, I love chili, I love several of my recipes call for cumin, and cumin is just one of my favorite spices. So if you're not familiar with cumin, you might want to try adding this to your dishes. Now realize the price at Aldi is so inexpensive that you could really use it for 6 months, throw it away, and get a new fresh bottle. Because spices are not meant to be a keepsake. They're not meant to be an heirloom that you pass down to generations and generations. You really should only keep your spices for a short time, and then you need to get fresh. Watch my video on how to store spices because it's very informative. All right, so let's move on. Now quinoa. Quinoa is very popular because of the high protein quality. This is organic quinoa and not a bad price, but quinoa is a food that you don't have to spend the money on to get organic. If you feel better buying organic, hey, I understand that 100%, but you don't have to if you choose not to. So quinoa, great protein, get it in the diet, feed your family well. Now I have a couple bags of chips here. I don't normally buy chips, but we have guests coming next week, so I thought I'd stock up. So once again, when it comes to grains, I do want it to be organic. That's very important when it comes to chips. So I do not want my family eating any non-organic chips. I don't want any GMO contaminants in the corn or the soy or the wheat's not GMO yet. So anyway, I do want organic chips. And at Aldi, the price is very reasonable. So you can definitely, make that a good choice. This one is a multi-grain, once again, organic. All right, so that's a really good buy. They also, I mentioned the Parmesan cheese and I mentioned the feta. So there we have the feta cheese for you there. And then our last item, I do not normally buy this because it just, boom, there goes my chips. Okay, so Mama Chia, it's a good purchase item. The sugar content is fairly low. I think it was 5 grams. Has a little bit of protein, 2 grams, has some fiber, about 3 grams. So if you just need a special treat for your kids to tide them over in the car or, hold them over until the next meal time. Now, that's a comment that I make kind of frequently, but I really hope you don't take me up on it too often. Kids actually need to be hungry at dinner time. You need them hungry so they'll eat their protein, they'll eat their fiber before going to a treat such as this. If they're not hungry and they're picky eaters, usually that's because they're snacking too much. Snacking causes children to be picky eaters because they're allowed to have these sweet treats. So use these sparingly because I want your children to eat that quality protein that you just worked on for that dinner. Dinner and lunch, they're very important to getting that protein in. And if you have good protein at lunch, they should not be very hungry until dinner time. Protein and fiber, that's what they need more than they need snacks. All right, so that I think is everything. I hope this has been beneficial to you. I can't wait to see your comments because every time you comment, I comment back. I will answer you. And these videos are to help teach you how to be confident in the kitchen, confident with your health, and confident in knowing that God loves you. Be sure and subscribe to this station and hit that bell so you get notified every time we post new videos. We've got videos coming up almost every day. And be watching for our podcast, Biblical Nutrition Academy. Yes, that's where we take this a little bit deeper and help you get the health that God designed for you.